My sister made fun of my dead wife. Amy died 2 years ago from cancer at 31. We'd been married for 6 years, and watching her fade away during those final 8 months broke something in me that never healed right. My sister Bridget never liked Amy. She was jealous that family gatherings stopped revolving around her after I got married. She'd make digs about Amy being too quiet or not funny enough at parties. When Amy got sick, Bridget visited the hospital twice, and the second time she told me I should think about dating again once things were over. I didn't speak to her for 8 months after the funeral. Our parents kept calling, saying Bridget was getting married and needed me there for wedding planning. Mom cried on the phone saying our fighting was killing her. I finally agreed to come to Sunday dinner to keep the peace. Bridget showed up late with her fiancé Trevor, a middle school teacher I'd met once at Christmas. He seemed like a decent guy, way too good for my sister, but I kept quiet. Mom made pot roast and we ate in awkward silence until Bridget pulled out this massive wedding binder. She flipped to venue photos and announced she'd picked Riverside Gardens for the ceremony. Mom's face went pale. That's where Dan and Amy got married. I stared at my plate. Of course Bridget picked that venue. She'd always been competitive about everything. I know, Bridget said, but it's the nicest place in town. I'm not picking my second choice just because Dan already used it. Trevor shifted uncomfortably. There are other nice venues though, maybe we could— It's my wedding day, Trevor. I should get what I want. Bridget cut him off and kept flipping through her binder. She got to the dress section, pulling out magazine photos of elaborate gowns with beading and cathedral trains. I'm doing custom lace sleeves, something with actual personality, not like Amy's dress. She looked right at me. Remember that dress, Dan? So plain. Just a basic white A-line with nothing special about it. I could never wear something that boring. My hands froze on my silverware. Bridget, Dad said quietly, but she kept going like something had been building up for years. Amy was sweet, but she had zero sense of style. Even when she was healthy, she dressed like someone's grandmother. And at your wedding, Dan, she barely talked to anyone. Just stood there with that polite smile. I remember thinking even then that she seemed kind of dull. My face got hot. Trevor was staring at Bridget like he'd never seen her before. That's enough, I said. I'm just being honest. Everyone acts like Amy was perfect, but she really wasn't. She was nice, sure, but nice and boring aren't the same thing. She was dying, I exploded. At our wedding, Amy already had tumors in her liver the size of golf balls. She was exhausted and in pain, and she pushed through that entire day smiling because she loved me. And you're calling her boring because she didn't perform for you? Mom started crying. Dad's fork clattered against his plate. Bridget's face went red. Well, how was I supposed to know that? Even if she wasn't sick, even if she was just quiet, she was my wife and she's dead and you're mocking her for no reason. Trevor, can we just go? Bridget said, suddenly panicked. But Trevor didn't move. He was looking at her with this horrified expression. Why would you say those things? He asked quietly. About someone who died? About your brother's wife who died? Everyone's always so sensitive about Amy. Sensitive? Trevor stood up and grabbed his jacket. I've been watching you compete with your brother's dead wife for 20 minutes. The venue, the dress, all of it. You're trying to prove you're better than someone who isn't even here anymore. That's not what I work with 12-year-olds, Trevor said, his voice cold. Middle school bullies have more empathy than what you just showed. He walked toward the door. Bridget scrambled after him. Trevor, wait, please. I didn't mean it like that. He stopped and turned around. Explain to me how there's a good way to tell your grieving brother that his dead wife was boring. Bridget's mouth opened, but nothing came out. Trevor left. Through the window, I watched him get in his car and drive away while Bridget stood in the driveway crying. She came back inside, makeup ruined, hands shaking. This is your fault. You made him leave. I didn't do anything, I said. You did this yourself. Mom, Dad, tell him what you said about Amy was cruel, Mom said, her voice breaking. I don't understand why you would do that. Dad wouldn't look at her. Bridget grabbed her purse and wedding binder and stormed out. 3 days later, Mom called. Trevor had broken up with Bridget. He told her he couldn't marry someone capable of that kind of cruelty, that it showed him something about her character he couldn't ignore. The wedding was off.